This video is probably my mother's nightmare, or every mother's nightmare whose child goes abroad and says, oh, I'm probably not coming back anytime soon. I will talk about why it is so hard for expats and foreigners to leave Singapore once they're here. I've heard so many cases where people would stay 5-6 years instead of just one, and here are the reasons why. Stick till the end where I'm going to talk about a taboo topic where most of you will probably disagree, or Singaporeans will not want to hear this. Number one, luxurious lifestyle for an affordable budget. Singapore enables to live a quite luxurious lifestyle for an affordable amount of money. What I mean by that is that in Singapore, I can live a lifestyle that I would never be able to afford in Switzerland. For example, I can go to have a manicure from time to time, a pedicure. I can take a Grab if I'm really exhausted and I don't want to take the MRT, and it's still around 10 Singapore dollars, and in Switzerland it will cost around 50 to 60 just for a 10 minutes ride. Other things are getting a massage or general things like eating out. I would never eat out on a regular basis in Switzerland, but in Singapore it's really affordable. Once you get used to having all these luxuries, it's hard to move back. Number two is convenience. Singapore enables such a convenient lifestyle. Not to mention that everything is going super smooth and fast. So for example, you have Grab delivery, you have 7-Eleven, which is open 24 hours. You have grocery shops open 24 hours. So if you feel like having ice cream around, I don't know, 11 p.m., you can just go to the store and buy ice cream. Then you have Amazon Fresh, which delivers your groceries within 2 hours to your doorstep. Convenient is also that they have these so-called Santa lockers, where when a parcel arrives, they put it in this locker and they send you a code, so you can just go and fetch your parcel whenever it's comfortable for you, so you don't need to be at home. This is really convenient. In Switzerland, I would have to go to the post office, and the opening hours are so limited, so I would never find the time to collect my parcels. Singapore really tries to make your life as easy as possible. So there's this app called Lala Move, where you can send a driver to someone's place to pick something up. I bought this really nice lamp from Carousel, and it cost me $15 to ask the driver to go and pick it up and bring it to my place. What's also very convenient is, of course, if you live in a condominium, which a lot of expats and foreigners do, you have a pool, you have a gym, you have a security guard at the entrance. This makes you feel really safe, and yeah, well, having a gym and a pool in the same building is quite convenient. Number three, it's so travel friendly. Whenever you feel like going on a trip, there are so many destinations only 1 or 2 hours by flight. You can even take the ferry to Bintan. You can drive up to Malaysia within 30 minutes. So even though Singapore is quite small, you have so many options to explore and to travel around. You're in Thailand within 2 hours, and even Japan or Australia is 5 hours away. It makes traveling really easy, especially since there are really cheap flights if you book in advance. Number four, and I cannot stress this enough because I think it's really rare. I've never been to a place in the world where it's so safe. You can leave your belongings everywhere unattended and it would never get stolen. I left my phone the other day accidentally in front of the gym for like 1.5 hours, and when I came back it was still there. Also, it's so safe for women. You won't get catcalled, or when you walk around at night alone, you would never get approached by any man or feel uncomfortable. This is really rare. Even though Switzerland, for example, is also very safe, I think Singapore takes it to a next level, especially for people living in countries like Brazil, which is very unsafe, or India. At some places, they really enjoy the Singapore safety, and that's why I think they have a hard time going back, or can't imagine feeling really safe back home. Also, if you have a family here and with children, I think it's such a good feeling to know that it's probably nothing gonna happen to your children when they walk home from school alone. I think it's really rare to find. Number five, connecting is easy. As Singapore has a lot of expats and foreigners, it's very easy to find friends and connect with other foreigners. There are a lot of meetup groups, there are Facebook groups which ask for who wants to come for coffee. So once you're here and you put yourself out there, it's easy to connect with other people and like-minded people. So I think when you come here as an expat and you start making friends fast, it's really hard to, after a time, then leave everything you've built in a short amount of time and go back to your country. This is especially for me the case. I've made a lot of good friends within this year, and I really couldn't imagine leaving them already. Number 6, my favorite topic, it's the weather. So you really have 30 degrees all year long, which makes planning also very easy, right? If you plan a party, you can have it outdoors. In Switzerland, you never really know, is it gonna be 10 degrees or 20 degrees? It's very unpredictable, but in Singapore, you know that at least it stays warm. And even though if it might rain, it passes within 15 minutes. So I really enjoy Singapore weather. I also realized that when it's dark and gray and cold, I tend to get very antisocial. So in winter, when it's dark outside at 5 p.m. and someone asks me to come out with them, I'm always a bit struggling, and then, you know, get all my winter clothes on. It rains, and then here, if someone asks me, no problem. I just slip into my flip-flops and leave the house in 3 minutes. Now I'm going to talk about a topic that probably Singaporeans don't want to hear about, but I really think it's true. So Singapore is, in my opinion, a safe bubble, and people here live in this bubble. There is no freedom of speech really, like for press, or there's like a lot of media regulation, there's a lot of political control, there is no demonstrations, so people who want to express their own opinion or like an unpopular opinion, they cannot really do it. This is also, the consequence is that it's very safe and there's no riots going on, but it's also making people believe that this is normal, that everything is in order, everything is so clean, everything is safe, but this is really, really rare in the world. And once they travel abroad, I think sometimes some Singaporeans are really shocked about what's going on in the world, especially if they travel to a country with a high criminality or where women get approached by men quite often. They're not used to it and they're really shocked, and then this leaves like a bad impression for them about this country. In most of the country, it is this way. Singaporeans often take the safety, the cleanliness, the system here for granted, and I wish they could see that this is really, really rare to find. Let me know in the comments if you agree that Singaporeans live a bit in their own safe heaven bubble. That was it. Thank you so much. See you next time.